2 games left and only 1 win is needed to get us into the playoffs. Hey guys, welcome to episode 52 of One Team, One Dream, Into the Woods. My name is James, and on today's episode we have the final 2 games of the regular season. We are away against Preston North End, followed by hopefully a match that won't mean anything as we welcome Rochdale to Meadow Park. Since the last episode, it's only been 1 game and we managed to win that one, which puts us 4 points ahead of Southend in 7th place, which means if we get 1 win or if Southend slip up, we will get our guaranteed playoff spot and we'll more than likely face Charlton in the semi-final of the playoffs, which I am very much not looking forward to based on how we did against them in the last episode. And this is the team that is going to be facing Preston in the first of today's 2 matches. We have Huddart in goal, a back four Divine, Tricker, Kirk and Charles. Charles, incidentally, we have just managed to extend his loan contract till the end of next season, I believe. Yes, it does. It says on there, June 2026. We managed to get an extra year onto his contract. We are paying £2,500 a week of his wages, but he's by far the best right back we've got at the club, and I think he'll be far better than anything we could probably bring in during the summer based on our current budgets. We have Fiorini and Osho in central midfield, Daly and Alabioso the wide men. Daly coming in for Fagan, who has been in favour with me over the last couple of games. However, he's a little bit tired coming into this match, as there's only been a couple of days between this match and the previous one. So Daly comes in for him as a winger, and then Yeats and Taylor Crossdale, the usual 2 up front. As much as I can, I've been trying to keep a consistent team over the second half of the season. I was hoping that would provide some consistency in our form. During that period, we did go on that 10, 12 game unbeaten run. But especially in the last couple of weeks, we have been very, very inconsistent, very up and down. And yes, that has been against the teams that are up in the playoffs with us. And obviously the teams maybe we expect to not necessarily struggle against, but to be more we've struggled to be more competitive against. But I was hoping that keeping some consistency would allow the players to be able to bond. I've been doing lots of team bonding training module exercises in the team schedule over the last couple of weeks to really try and gel the players together coming into the back end of the season. But we have a highlight here on 7 minutes. Huddart with the ball. Forward to Kirk, looking to build up from the back. Big ball forward, finds Taylor Crossdale. Taylor Crossdale couldn't bring it down. And unfortunately, the Preston player manages to collect it. And now they're going to come forward with Buckley. Pushes it out wide. Looking to try and put a cross in. He's being brilliant block there by, I'm not sure who that was. I presume that's Daly out there on that left-hand side. Managed to get the block in. But Preston have the ball back again. Buckley to Reed. Osborne is in the penalty area. And like so many of the matches you've seen on these episodes over the last couple of weeks, and do you know what I saw it early on the season as well. We are starting to get into the habit of conceding so early in games, and we don't seem to wake up until midway through the second half, through the first half, or when we've conceded. But Divine with the free kick, whipped to the centre. No one managed to get to it. Alabiosu, though, is quickest off the mark. Try and recycle the play. To Tricker, to Osho. Osho looking for Daly out wide, but a completely wayward pass. Unfortunately, had a bit too much zip on it, and Osborne's now going to come forward, chips it through to Riley. There's a good chance this could be number 2, and Riley hits the post. We were almost 2-0 down within the first 10 minutes of the game. I think I'm going to berate the players. I know it's very early on, but the fact we haven't even registered a shot on target yet, and Preston are 1-0 up, and we are 27 minutes into the game. But Osho has won the ball back to Taylor Crossdale, who easily with pace goes past his man. He's free in the penalty area. Can he take a shot? Looks to go past the goalkeeper, put the ball past the goalkeeper. Unfortunately, he also puts it wide of the post. Preston have a throw-in with Swanson on the left-hand side. Kirk manages to win the ball. Taylor Crossdale gets another opportunity to try and run with it. Unfortunately, he's got a couple of men in front of him this time. Goes past his man. Alabiosu just slips into the penalty area. Crossdale looking to try and get across into the centre. To Charles. Back to Alabiosu. Charles trying to put across. I'm not sure what he was expecting to get out of that with the player directly in front of him. Riley is free in the penalty area. Huddart makes the save. Divine stops it going out for a corner. Right, Kirk with a free kick in our own half to Charles, to Osho. Out wide to Alabiosu. Can we craft something this time round rather than just losing the ball? 1-2 with Osho to Taylor Crossdale. Back out wide to Alabiosu. He's got a little bit of space now. Can he get a cross in to Osho, to Charles? Back to Osho. Somebody put a cross into the box rather than just messing around with the ball. Osho this time puts it into Taylor Crossdale. And he puts it in to make it 1-1. There was a little bit of passing over that. I really did get a question whether we were actually going to make anything from this. But they were just biding their time. Charles looks to go and try and get a little bit of space for Osho. Passes it back to him. He puts it across to Taylor Crossdale, who gets, I think, his 21st or I think 20th or 21st goal of the season. Devine with a free kick on the 40th minute, but goes straight into the hands of Rudd, the Preston goalkeeper. And I presume Preston are going to now push forward from here. Big ball forward. Nobody up there, though, for Preston. So Charles collects the ball quite comfortably to Kirk. Kirk hoofs it forward, looking for Taylor Crossdale. I'm not sure if Crossdale actually got the ball, whether that was the Preston defender, but we still have the ball here with Alabiosu to Charles, to Osho, who's done really well, I have to say, in this first half. Out wide to Daly, to Devine. To Daly. Why the players aren't trying to run? There we go. Devine on the overlap. A little bit of space. Everyone seems very reluctant to put the ball in to the back post. Alabiosu makes it 2-1. And on the 41st minute, or coming up to the 41st minute, Devine with the cross into the centre. Alabiosu at the back post. And again, we were a slow start in this half, but we have turned it around just coming into half-time. With the score being 2-1, the half-time team talk looks slightly different. I mean, should I agree with my assistant manager? I'm pleased with the performance. I'm actually going to point the finger. Don't get complacent out there. I'm going to say that's the best way to do it. We have got a little bit of momentum coming into the second half. But the last thing we want is throw all this away, especially as this will pretty much guarantee... Actually, well, this will guarantee us a playoff spot and actually push us down to 5th place above Wycombe, which means we'll be facing Walsall rather than Charlton in the semi-final of the playoffs. We have a highlight here on 56 minutes. Yeats going on a little masterful run, puts it back into Fiorini. It goes past his man in the penalty area, looking for an opportunity to cross. Devine now with the ball. Back to Fiorini. Back to Devine, who's now in loads of space. Surely he can pick his spot. At the back was Alabiosu with the opportunity there to get his second of the game. Fortunately, he hits the post. Right, we have Devine with the corner. Whipped into the centre. Alabiosu again. Unfortunately, this time, rather than the crossbar, rather than the post, he hits Rudd, the Preston goalkeeper. And Preston have another highlight with the ball, but Tricker wins the ball back. Looking to push it forward to Taylor Crossdale, to Yeats. We haven't really seen much of Yeats so far in this game, or Taylor Crossdale for that matter. But Daly puts the ball through to Yeats, crosses it to his partner in the centre. Both of them combine to get Martel Taylor Crossdale's 24th goal of the season to make it 3-1. And hopefully at this point, we just now have to see out this game and guarantee ourselves that place in the playoffs. Right, with that in mind, I'm going to make a couple of substitutions. We've got a few tired legs out there. Going to bring on Adebayo for Fiorini. I'm going to push Adebayo across to deep line playmaker. Take off Osho as well. Bring on Curtis Wilshire in the box-to-box role. Also going to switch Daly across and put him as an inverted winger on that right-hand side. Take off Alabiosu. Bring on Fagan. Switch him to that Ramdoiter role. Make a triple substitution on 73 minutes. Get a few fresh legs on and rest some of the players for the final game of the season and into the playoffs. Huddart with the ball here, just coming up to 75 minutes. Big ball forward, looking for Crossdale. Unfortunately, he only finds a Preston head. John with the ball through to Plange, but Charles puts the tackle in, and the second time Vasca manages to clear the ball. Taylor Crossdale loses the ball, but manages to get it. But Adebayo gets it back. We are playing with fire here in defence at the moment with the ball. We cannot clear, and Preston are relentlessly coming forward. Osborne into Plange in the penalty area, and that's been coming for at least the last 30 seconds. We might be 3-1 up, but we are losing concentration in this game. I want to say focus, but I'm going to say focus. I don't like using anything other than a lot of the main ones, the demand more, your berate and the encourage, because I think some of the others seem to have more negative effects. But ask the players to focus, because this is what we need going into this last couple of minutes. But straight away, we have a highlight from the kickoff. And my worry is that this is going to be 3-3, and Preston are going to come back, and I'm going to think it's going to be me because I did this silly shout. But luckily, Preston missed the target and put it into the stands. And that's it, full time, 3-2, a little bit more nervy than it should have been going to the latter half of that game. But we did what we needed to do. Hopefully we'll now get the confirmation. There we go, secured playoffs. Outstretched arms, well done lads. I'll get to be able to change the team around a little bit for the second match. Little bit of rotation to try and save some legs for the playoffs. It does mean in terms of the playoff picture, it won't make a massive difference what happens in the second game. We still want to win, as Wycombe could still jump above us if we get a loss in the final game of the season. So now it's home to Meadow Park. So here we are. It is match day number 2, our final game of the regular season as we face Rochdale at home. Couple of changes, not as many as I thought I'd make for this match. I do want to give some people a rest, but also want to kind of keep the structure of the team together, try and build some momentum going into the playoffs. So we have a rare start for Walton in goal. Divine, Tricker, Kirk and Hosanna comes in at right back for Charles, who drops to the bench. Fiorini and Adebayi are the central midfield. Fagan comes back in on the left-hand side. Alabiosu, as usual, on the right. And Yeats and Taylor Crossdale up front, as they have been for almost the entire season now, and have been absolutely phenomenal, especially John Yeats. I'll be amazed if we can keep him this season. I really would love it if we can, because I think he could be one of our forever strikers. If there are Premier League teams looking for him, then there's a good chance that he is going to be possibly will be good enough in the future to be able to cut it in the Premier League. So the longer we can keep him, the longer he can develop with us, and there's a good chance he could hopefully do us a job if and when we manage to get into the Championship. We have a highlight here on 6.5 minutes. We had a free kick hooved forward, but it was then cleared by Rochdale. We start to build again. Fagan in his Ram Deuter role, which he seems to be working really well. Yeats into the penalty area, and that was beautiful. Fagan just drops in off of the from that left-hand side, passes it into Crossdale, and Crossdale to Yeats. I was praising them before the game. Fagan comes in, Taylor Crossdale, one touch, passes it through to Yeats. Yeats slots it past the goalkeeper for, I have no idea at this point. I didn't see what it was. Number 36 or 37 probably so far this season. He is onside, and early on he makes it 1-0. Rochdale with a free kick in our half, whipped into the penalty area. Hosanna manages to clear it. Fagan tries to get out there first, but McCurdy, the Rochdale player, gets there before him. Passing around on the edge of the penalty area, shot from range. Walton isn't going to get beaten from there. We haven't seen much of Walton this season, but he is now playing at a League One level as a goalkeeper, which is very good, especially as a backup. I'm amazed he's not complained as much. I'm amazed he hasn't actually complained at all this season about not getting any game time, because I really do feel the fact that he may have deserved more than he's got this season. But Huddart has been fantastic, and Rochdale, while I'm talking there, managed to equalise, and Walton, not necessarily his fault, but you kind of do question whether Huddart would have let that in. Rogers with the ball into the penalty area. Header there. I mean, it was right in the top corner. Maybe we'll let Walton off for that one. Right, Rochdale have a throw-in out on the left-hand side into the penalty area to Kashket. This isn't going to be like it was in the previous... Oh, they're lucky it was disallowed. I was about to say, this better not be like it was against Charlton. I can't remember what the guy's name was, but he scored a very quick hat-trick against us that put us to the sword. Right, Preston with the ball, but we managed to win it back. Hosanna to Taylor Crossdale. Yeats manages to go past his man from range. That was a very audacious effort from Yeats, even for him. And it went well wide of the post. We have a free kick, presumably with, is it Divine? Yes, it is Divine on the edge of the penalty area. Over the top of the wall, hits the crossbar. I'm not sure. It looked like the goalkeeper might have got a hand to it as well to help it onto the woodwork. But we have a corner out of it. So Divine takes yet another set piece, whipped into the centre. It's cleared by, I think that was that McCurdy, I think his name was? And Kashket for Rochdale is absolutely wiped out by Fiorini. Don't you dare say he's going to get sent off. I almost thought for a second he was going to get sent off. He got booking in the end. But that would be not necessarily a disaster, but it would be bad him getting sent off going into the playoffs, as he's been one of our key midfielders in the latter half of the season. Going to pump the fist. Great opportunity to show all the pundits. I mean, that is possibly one of the worst team talks I've ever given. So I won't give any more mind to that and we'll move on. Rochdale with a corner with McCurdy, whipped into the centre. Kirk manages to clear it. Unfortunately, Morley for Preston, then Rochdale is quickest to get to the ball. Cashket with the ball now to O'Connell. Devine manages to telegraph that pass, collects the ball. Tricker trips over the top. Yeats, defender misses it. Yeats is in the penalty area, slides it under the goalkeeper for number 38 of the season. He gets a cartwheel in there as well, almost wiped out. But I'm not sure who that was that came in there, but I think it might have been Taylor Crossdale, but almost wiped him out as he tries to do his cartwheel. But Yeats, running through there, taking advantage of the mistake from the goalkeeper, slots it under the goalkeeper from the defender, slots it under the goalkeeper, and makes it 2-1 Boreham Wood. Right, time to make some substitutions. After all my excitement with Fagan being out there as a Ramdeuter, unfortunately he isn't playing very well today, so let's bring on Bobby Wright on the left-hand side. Let's switch these rounds, put Fiorini in the deep line playmaker roles, take Adebayo off, and bring on Wiltshire. And unless there's any tired legs, hopefully these guys will be able to see out the match. Hosanna with a free kick in Rochdale's half to Fiorini, to Kirk, to Tricker. Ball out wide to Wright. Just come on, Wiltshire. Into Yeats. Yeats puts it in. A very poor shot there. I think he could have gone a cross goal there with his shot. But straight into the arms of Walker, the Rochdale goalkeeper, who hoofs it forward, looking for a Rochdale striker, but only finds one of our defenders. We now look to bring it forward again. Wiltshire with another good ball through to Yeats. That's 2 balls in quick succession. This time, Yeats makes no mistake for number 39, and our third of the day, which I think, if I remember looking at the table, means we are now sitting in 4th place in the table. So we'll get the home advantage in the second leg of the semi-final. But Yeats puts it in. There is a very good chance Yeats is going to be able to get 40 goals this season. I mean, I think in all competitions he's well over that at this point. He may even get it in today's game, depending on how things go. But Rochdale have a throw in this time in our half. Nilsson in the penalty area to Marsh. Marsh takes a shot. Luckily, it goes wide of Huddart's goal. 10 minutes left to play. Let's make a final substitution. Fiorini isn't playing very well, and he is on a booking. So let's bring on Osho for the last couple of minutes, just to allow him to stretch his legs before the semi-final. Devine with a throw-in to Wiltshire. Wiltshire loses the ball. Wiltshire's been doing so well so far since he's come on, and that was a very poor mistake, not paying attention to what was going on. I thought it was going to be like the first goal for Rochdale, where the player comes running into the penalty area and slides it under the goalkeeper, but luckily Huddart manages to save it this time. And I just realised I've called him Huddart several times in this match, and it is in fact Walton in goal. I have to apologise to him after the match personally for calling him Huddart throughout most of that second half. But we have the win, 3-1, another good win. That's back-to-back wins on this episode, going into the playoff semi-final. Outstretched arms, very pleased, lads. Well done. We get confirmation, yes, we are in 4th place. Walsall must have lost. Walsall lost against AFC Wimbledon, who were languishing down in 16th place. How did Charlton get on? Charlton lost to Newport, and Wickham drew 2-2 with Preston, who we beat in the last match. I'll take that with a pinch of salt, but we're the only team that have coming into these playoffs off the back of a win. That's surely got to give us some form of momentum going into the playoffs. So it looks like we'll be facing Walsall in the semi-final of the League One playoffs. And if you're looking forward to that, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to be notified of those episodes. We'll have the semi-final to both legs on the next episode, with the final to follow afterwards. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.